So go ahead and sit comfortably in your seat. And fold your hands in your lap. Hold your back not arched or stiff, but straight if you can. So you can picture each one of your vertebrae piled up and stacked like blocks. You tuck your chin in slightly. Feel a stretch across your neck, which extends down into your shoulders and helps you to relax a little more. Relax those shoulders so they roll back and roll down a little bit more. So you're no longer feeling like you're trying to see if you can get them up as high as your ears. You're relaxed, just letting them hang loosely like a shirt on a hanger. Your feet flat on the floor. And you just are aware of the fullness, full experience of your body, that you're seated in a chair. You feel that chair against your back, the weight of your body in the seat, and your feet grounding you to the floor. And then begin by taking 3 deep breaths. In and out, in and out, and in and out. And then go ahead and just breathe normally. Just breathe in a relaxed way. Let your breath come and go as it chooses. One breath may be deep, the next may be short and quick. You don't need to try and control your breath at all, but be aware of it. Be aware of the sensation of your belly rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. You feel that breath entering your nostrils, the cool outside air that you take into your lungs. You can imagine as though you're filling your whole body with that air, with that breath, all the way down to your toes. Then your belly falls and you breathe out. You can have the sense in some ways that you're not having to push that air out. You're just letting that out breath leave your body. And when it's left, the natural thing your body wants is to fill those lungs again. And you feel that cool air. You feel that belly rising to help the breath draw a little more air in. And then your belly falls as the breath leaves your body. You just feel that cycle of breathing in as your belly rises, breathing out as your belly falls. As I say, we're not trying to control that breath. In this practice, we're not trying to change it, make it conform to any certain type. What we want to do is just give our full attention to it, to really feel that breath. Feel that life force filling us, feeding our bodies the oxygen we need, then expelling the carbon dioxide to give that to plants and drawing in fresh oxygen again. Just that cycle of breathing in and breathing out. And doing it with a feeling of what a gift it is. Each new breath. Each breath in lets us know we're still living, we're still partaking of this thing called earth, this life. And then we breathe out. And really feel it with your body. I like to think of it sometimes as what it feels like as a kid to swing high up on a swing. That's forward momentum is like the breath in. You feel your body fill with the excitement of going up as high as you can. And then suddenly it turns and you're going an arc down backwards, repeating your steps, letting that air release and breathing out. Brief moment where you kind of pause in the arc backwards. You give that little kick with your legs, which is like that little push to raise your belly slightly, and you feel the process begin again, breathing in and breathing out. We've learned and practiced at just having this breath come and go. I say no need to try and control it. Breathing in fully, breathing out fully, and letting that breath go so that we can step right into the next one. Breathing in and breathing out. Trying to hang on to it is another form of control, really. And we just enjoy it. We just enjoy this body that can breathe in and breathe out. Letting go of one breath, stepping into the next. I feel that real enjoyment of what it is to just have this body, to be a human being on this great earth. This week on this great earth, it's hot. And I find that heat and cold are another good opportunity to practice that, paying attention and also letting go. Which is not to say you go and sit out in the sun with no water to really feel that sun beating down on you. We're wise. We can go into air conditioning. If we don't have that, we can sit with a cool drink in front of a fan. Or as people used to do in the old days, sit inside in houses that had high ceilings that were structured so the air would rise like a chimney through the house and out the roof, drawing in the cooler air. Or in those days too, people would go to the beach. I lived near the beach on Bde-Maka in Minneapolis. One night it was still 98 degrees. And I thought, I'm going to walk down to that beach. It's only a block. I can go just sit in the water up to my neck if I want to and get cold. And I went, and you would have thought it was the middle of the day. There were whole families and couples, single people all down there having picnics at 2 a.m. on the beach, making the most of that coolness. But the other part of it is that we can grumble over the heat. We certainly like to do that here in Minnesota. The weather is a favorite topic of conversation. Usually ended by the saying, well, what good does it do to complain about it? It's not going to change it anyway. But we say that after we've been complaining for a while. That's actually a fairly wise approach to take, whether it's cold or whether it's hot. Just fully being with it if we can't avoid it, if we can't lessen it and make the most of it. At least relieve some of the suffering we might feel. If we're sitting grumbling about how hot it is, we're kind of doubling our misery. We're miserable from the heat. We're miserable from our grumbling. We can take the opportunity to sit in the shade of a tree. We would be aware of the breeze on our skin. Perhaps we're aware that we're sweating because it's so hot. We can feel that a wonderful mechanism of sweating, and we can feel how the breeze evaporates that sweat and cools us down slightly. There's nothing wrong with using your imagination if you're lying in bed and it's hard to sleep because it's so hot. There's nothing wrong with imagining perhaps that it's winter again. You're out rolling down a cold, snowy hill. I swear that can make you feel cooler. Or watching a nature show about Antarctica, that'll cool you off. Again, we do the best we can, and then we accept it. Like I say, cold is an opportunity for that too. If you're stuck outside, you're dressed as warmly as you can. You might stamp your feet a little bit. You might rub your hands together or clap them. Sometimes you can feel that shiver overtaking you. And it's almost as though you're feeding into it. I mean, in one way, a shiver helps to move those muscles and build up some heat. And you can let that happen. Again, just give your attention to that shiver. Feel it. Feel how it may warm you. And also feel the cold. Sometimes we worry that if we feel how cold it is, if we feel our hands, again, we'll be more miserable. But trying to push that sensation away doesn't get rid of it. It's still there. And there's some way in which just feeling it, just touching it without turning away from it, again, reduces our struggle, reduces our suffering. So just experiment with that, explore that. Here, we're going to have plenty of opportunity to do that in the next few days. And people in other parts of the country are getting an opportunity too. Again, don't end up with heat stroke and say, I told you to go out there and get that. But just experiment with what it feels like to really allow that heat to touch us, to see how we may struggle against it and want to push it away, and see if things feel different when you just accept it. Accept it and move on in the same way as we do from moment to moment with the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting go of that breath, moving to the next. Feeling heat, feeling cold in this moment. Letting this moment go, and then again stepping into the next and feeling what that's like. Stay cool though. Fill up a kiddie pool if you need to and sit in it for a while. Or again, I can recommend going to a lake and just sitting up to your neck. Bring a lawn chair. Bring that core temperature down. And just feel that. Feel what a relief that is to you. We'll take 3 deep breaths to end. And again, open your eyes, stay cool.